Sometimes I feel like a star, but only strictly where I'm famous. I'm in this for the longest haul, like we'll see where it takes us. I'm throwing back these double shots like whiskey here is weightless. Cause this career I chose was even riskier than Vegas, yo.
Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Colby Rebel Show. I am your host, Colby Rebel, and what an exciting show we have for you tonight. So excited. You know, I love when we get these amazing mediums and inspirational speakers, teachers with us to really share their experience. And tonight, we have quite a surprise for you. So I know a lot of you are just dealing with a lot at the moment. There's been a lot of emotions. We had a pink moon last night, so I know people have had trouble sleeping or really vivid dreams, a lot of stress or a lot of boredom, really forcing yourself to go inward and peel away those layers, right? And this is an opportunity to do that. This is an opportunity to kind of say, where do I need to fix things? Where's some patching needed in the structural foundation? So this is a great way to do it. And one of the things I do want to mention is I am doing an online circle. I think there's just one spot left. So that is an online development circle. And that's the great thing about this experience, is just because it really has forced me to go online with classes and such, which has really been a lot of fun. So, but I really want to kind of get right into it and get to our guest tonight, because she really is amazing. And she's just such an inspiration. And I've really been seeing her. It's kind of one of those people where you're in the same circles a lot. You maybe know the same people, but you haven't really met at the party yet, right? And so I finally was like, I have to have her on. And it was so exciting. I reached out and she reached back. And so I am very thrilled. And the great thing about her is she's so spirit driven. It's from such a pure place. And she is really amazing, an incredibly gifted medium. She does a lot of touring and platform around the country and has done so much traveling. She takes people on these soul spirit travel tours, which I can't wait to talk to her about. It's amazing. You can really see the transformation from those that have traveled with her. And she's also currently working on an oracle deck that we're going to get into, a training deck that we're going to talk about, but I don't want to ruin the surprise yet. But what I do want you to do is please help me welcome, put your hands together for Lauren Rainbow. Hi there, Lauren.
Hi, Colby. How are you?
I am so good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. And I know you're on the East Coast, so I really do appreciate you. It's a little later for you, so I do appreciate you being on with us and sharing with us. So, what do you think about this pink moon and the emotions with people? Have you noticed that as well with your friends, fellows, family members?
With myself. I've noticed it with myself, with the people in my life, my friends. I'm still working and helping people online, doing readings and sessions. And, I think we're settling in from change. We're settling into kind of that quiet space that we know we all need to get into right now. So I feel like that pink moon is kind of softening the energy a little bit here for me, but it's definitely been a beginning emotional week. And, so much better to be grounded here.
It is so much better. So if you'll do me a favor, just tell me a little bit about how you got started. When did you realize, like, I'm talking to dead people?
Yeah. So for me, it's been over almost 20 years now. I've been doing this work, which is kind of a long time when you think about it. I started connecting with spirit in my early 20s. And Yeah, so for me, it was, I knew, obviously, I think, Colby, you understand, we've always been odd childhood, You look back and you go, okay, it's always been
Yeah.
there. And I could go into the stories of my own childhood, but really, for me, it was in my early 20s, and I started to just become aware of spirit. It was right before 9/11, which is so powerful with the shift that we're in right now. I think for 9/11, for a lot of us, it was kind of a spiritual awakening, and I definitely think that what's happening here right now with COVID-19 is also another shift, just on a bigger scale. So I started on 9/11, really stepping into spirit. The day was a big shift for me, and I ended up unemployed and in a metaphysical shop 2 days after, and have never worked a normal job since. So I was out hustling as a psychic, doing house parties and stuff before we had Facebook and before we had MySpace. So
Yeah,
it's
wow.
been an amazing journey. John Edward had just started doing Crossing Over when I started coming out as a medium, and now it's been an amazing 20 years to see what an amazing world it is for mediumship, and the way that we're helping people on such a big level. So that's kind of the quick start. A lot of stuff has happened in that journey, and I've taught around New England for over 15 years in development. So yeah. People would know I used to live in a retired funeral home back around that time. So, the universe is always giving you signs, directions, the path is before you. You just got to pay attention sometimes.
They do. I always tell people that they give you signs. So I think this is how they work. And you can tell me if you agree or not. But I think they give you a warning. They give you a little suggestion. And then a lot of times we ignore that first nudge, right? Then they may
Yes.
give you another nudge, but then we ignore that nudge too. So then they say enough's enough, and they rip the carpet out right from under you so that you have no choice.
And that's exactly what happened. I literally, my first shift was, I worked for a newspaper that a lot of people who know my story, the newspaper was called The Messenger. I covered death and dying every day. And then I left that job because I didn't want to cover the death and dying. And I ended up moving into a retired funeral home. And then I was laid off the day before 9/11 happened. I was boosting my way up the design world back then, and I was doing really well. And I got laid off the day before 9/11. Having already started to really feel spirit, connect with spirit. And then the doors just opened after that. I had no choice to step in and work with it and bring it back as a service. So it's been
Wow,
amazing.
that's really great. And now you do a lot of traveling, like you take groups on tours. I think you've been to India and such. Is that right?
Yeah, so since 2017, I have done 5 sacred journeys, bringing people from everywhere to Mexico, Egypt, India, and Peru. And so more to open up once we get through this shift. And that's been a super passion of mine, to really connect to these amazing sacred sites and cultures and give people these amazing life-changing experiences, to really awaken. My last journey, Colby, was in February. So I got a group to Egypt. We got through safely and got back before COVID had become a huge issue. So the sacred journey travels have also been blessedly safe and miracles in and of themselves.
Yeah, it's incredible. I felt like, I was just in Australia and New Zealand, and it was like I almost felt like I was just ahead of the COVID. Like it was almost like it was coming, and I'm like running from it as fast as I can. So I got back to LA, and then literally within a couple days everything was shut down. So now, but thinking now, I'm like, gosh, being stuck in Australia or New Zealand might not have been such a bad idea.
We were actually on that side of the world. I was in Bali right after Egypt. And so I flew from Bali back here to New England and landed at the beginning of March. So like you, I was just moving ahead of it. Just got
Yeah.
back just in time. Yeah.
And it's interesting you said Bali, just because my birthday is March 21st. So my tour ended a little bit before that. And I thought, well, maybe I'll go to Bali for my birthday. And then my intuition said, no, go home. And so I
Yeah,
didn't book that. So we got to listen to that intuition. And
absolutely.
yeah, so got me right back. So But anyhow, so with these tours that you take, do you help the people that you take on it? Do you help them connect to their gifts? Do you help them meditate? Tell me a little bit about what that journey is like for someone going with you.
Yeah, so each journey has its own unique, design. Some of the folks that I've traveled with, other colleagues, so like some friends of mine, Julianne Santini and her partner John Mercedes have been some teammates on some of my journeys. Tony Stockwell and I did one to India. So we sometimes have an intent of creating a connection. So my last journey was called The Radiant Heart, and my intent is to help people connect more to the heart space, awaken into allowing their light to get brighter. And but while we're on that journey, that's going to look completely different for each person who was called to the journey. But we work with these sites. So again, Egypt being the most recent example, we're visiting places like the pyramids and the temples of the different gods and goddesses. We're going down the Nile in our own boat, just kind of connecting and meditating. And we really create a very private journey so that when we visit these sites as well, we're visiting the sites without a lot of public in some cases, or when you're going to India, it's a whole different experience. You want to be in the public. So you go to these river artis and you go to these celebrations with the actual people celebrating and connecting to the culture and or the site, the energy, the history, the sacredness, the magic. And for each person that comes out of each journey, their own story is unique in what they've opened up and changed in their life. But really it's about empowering or allowing people to step, if it's further into an ability or their life's calling, really anything that just, they feel it just awakens in them. The other magic about that though, is the work that we also do for the planet. All of these journeys are also earth-based. We're not only just connecting to charge ourselves up, but a lot of the work I have these people do is to send love back to Mother Earth, to do a lot of healing for her because of what she's going through right now. I think we see one of the benefits, unfortunately, of COVID is the healing that's happening to the planet, and that's where my heart feels most called to these journeys as well, is to not only bring people there for their awakening, but to bring people there for earth healing.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. And you have some really exciting news. We're working on a new training deck. Yes. So why don't you tell us about that a little bit? Because that is just fantastic.
I know, it's a lovely project and I'm so excited about this one. So my dear friend, John Holland, some of you know psychic medium John Holland, a wonderful medium and author, has had several decks himself. He actually lives very close to me here in New Hampshire. So we've been really good friends for years. And he asked me to create a deck called the Mediumship Training Deck with him. And so, yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Wow. It's so exciting.
It's like a dream come true when you see some of the cards that you're flashing there in front of them, and I love it. It's exciting to see this come together. So the Mediumship Training Deck was kind of an idea that we had to not only create. It's not really so much an oracle deck as it is an actual training deck.
Yeah.
All of these different cards have either a technique, a meditation practice, or something to help you just ongoingly work in training your gift. It actually can be great for psychics, intuitives, even though we call it the Mediumship Training Deck, all the tools. And, Colby, you would recognize some of the exercises like psychometry and just talking and helping people stay in tune with their development. A lot of us have taken classes or workshops, and, as a teacher, we both find a lot of people don't know what to do after.
Yeah.
What do I do now? How do I keep going? Or forgetting what they learned in the workshop. So we put our brains together and our hearts together and created this deck, 50 cards of techniques and meditations, and sometimes even just fun, random ways to, take and honor your soul and yourself. So it's a really beautiful deck. The artist we're so excited about as well, something a little different, modern and contemporary. And it's going to be out in August. It's actually on its way to being in print.
See that?
So,
wow. The images are stunning. Yeah. They're really vibrant. And I think that they're really going to capture people's attention. And it is such a great idea to help students, because again, like you're saying, they may take a workshop or a circle, but you've got to flex those spiritual muscles, right? You got to keep it going. So that's a great idea. Now with this, and Now, real quick though, so before I move on, they're going to be available in August. So will they be available online, Amazon? How are people going to be able to find them?
Yeah, so right now they are available on Amazon for pre-order.
Okay.
So you can go to Amazon and Google the Mediumship training deck, or find the link on my website, laurenrainbow.com. So yeah, but they're available for pre-order, due out August 25th. And it's just kind of pinch me moment. I'm so excited.
Well, and I would say I would recommend honestly that people do the pre-sale, just because then you're first in line,
Right?
and
You're the first one getting them, yeah.
exactly. So, what's that? Early bird gets the worm.
Exactly. And I'm just excited. The hard part about publishing, and I know you've probably been through this as well, is, the deck is done and designed and in print, and I've seen them, and when people are pre-ordering, they're like, I can't wait. And I'm like, I can't wait for you to see.
I can't. I
It's all torturous. Like, I want you to see them too, and what you've got for images that you showed is all that we're kind of allowed to tease you with right now. So,
Yeah.
people want to see more cards, and I'm like, I wish I could show you, but I can't.
Yeah. It's a lot of work. I've written 2 books, and I've just finished some Stan cards. Stan is a squirrel that comes visits me. So, but I know that labor of love that it takes to commit and to really, for you and John, it's not just that you throw things out there. I mean, both of you have to sit down and strategically say what is going to translate well on a card as a lesson. And so I'm
Yeah.
sure you guys came up with some fantastic ones. So I know I can't wait to see it. I'll get some for the shop here.
Yay! We'll send you some for sure.
Yeah. Now with your experience, you kind of had it since the 20s, but we don't birth ourselves into platform mediums, right? It does take some work, and it does take some dedication. And I'm just kind of curious. I mean, did you ever have a moment, in those early years where you were like, what am I doing?
Well, I remember for me how I even got to do, as a beginning as a medium, when I really started to actually do more psychic work first, and then mediumship fell in, even though medium connecting with spirit was the first calling. So the way I even ended up on stage was kind of interesting. I ended up working at a theater. This is the magic of spirit. I was a box office manager. The gentleman who had heard about me through the grapevine of the city area that I live in, because I had started to get a little bit of a recognition here, and he goes, I know about your other job. And he worked with other local bands and people and events. And he's like, I want to put you on a stage, and I want to see what happens. So that alone was just a terrifying moment. I have no idea what this looks like. It wasn't really popular on TV yet. So I'm standing on stage, kind of in the middle of a women's expo, getting ready to talk to spirit, and not even knowing, what am I doing and how does this look? That first time alone was like being thrown to the wind. I had not really formally trained for demonstrating mediumship, so I do platform on my own. I figured it out. And I remember just kind of freezing, and then people come to the mic and ask a question, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to tell them what I get. And then you just do it, and it worked out. So yeah, my whole first experience was just being thrown into the fire and figuring it out. And it just kind of grew from there. So it's been 10 years on stage. This gentleman and I, we just kind of started doing theaters around New Hampshire, and kind of figuring it out. I have almost fallen off the stage. That was more of a clumsy moment. I was walking on a very little platform, and I'm sure you're like that too, Colby, when you're on stage and you're in the energy and you're just so excited and you're just talking, and next thing you know, I'm walking forward, and down I just kind of went almost into the front row. Yeah, you just, and thank God it was just like a foot platform. It wasn't a big one. I actually fell in a class when I was teaching with John Holland in Maine. I fell off the stage. Classroom. So I have a knack for missing the edge of the stage, which goes back to my early theater days as a child. I fell off the stage in the middle of a performance once. So
oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
we gotta put baby gates up for you.
I did the Palace Theater here in Manchester, which is one of our larger theaters, and the orchestra pit. And when the orchestra pit was wide open in front of me, they made sure door, they put like this really big white rug, and he said, "Do not walk outside the area of the rug."
So what's Lauren
so
do?
yeah. And it just gave me, okay, I'm on the rug. I'm not going to fall off the stage.
Oh, good. Oh my gosh. Yes. Well, we are glad you are still in one piece. That's for sure. How about we take some callers? Does that sound good to
That
you?
would be lovely.
So, listen, everybody, the call lines are open. We've got a ton of callers in queue. So what we're going to do, as always, these are quick, short calls. So have your question ready. If it's a psychic question, just know what is that question specifically you want to ask. If it is a loved one, just let us know which loved one you want, because otherwise we're going to call in who's there and it may not be the person. So just give us who you want, so we can dive in, we can get to the bottom of it as quickly as we can, so we can get as many callers as we can, all right? And what we'll do is just know this. Remember, everybody, no speaker phone, no listening to the TV. We want a quiet, beautiful, clear connection. All right. So if you have to put the husband outside, put the kids in the closet, and put the dog in the bathroom, you do what you need to do. If you've just gotten through in the last week or two, please, we ask that you do not call in. Let's keep those call lines open to really give everyone a fair chance, since the calls are done at random. So listen to your area code and we will get started. All right. Are you ready, Lauren?
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. Let's see. We have here we go. How about 530? Let's see here. 530. Hey, 530.
Hello?
You're on the air. Who is this?
This is Christy.
Hi, Christy. How are you doing, honey?
I'm fine.
What
I have
can
a
we do for
question.
you? Yes, honey.
Well, if somebody passes like a month ago, is that too early to try to get something from them?
No, I mean, listen, we could connect to them the same day or the next day if it's possible. It's just that what happens is sometimes the recipient isn't ready because they're too deep in grief, right? So that doesn't mean that the spirit isn't there, but the sitter might be too deep. So how are you feeling? Or you want us to connect to someone that recently passed?
I would like to try her. She was my ex-sister-in-law. She went by Trish, but I always called her Pat.
All right. Well, let's give it a shot. Are you up for that, Lauren, to give it a shot here?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Go ahead then.
And so is this, I'm sorry, Christy?
Yes.
Did I get the name right?
Yes,
Hi, Christy. It's Lauren.
Yes. Hi.
And so right away, I've actually got perhaps two, so I'm going to try to work quickly here. But I know you're looking for ex-sister-in-law Pat. Would you understand with Pat, Christy, that she passes kind of still a bit young or middle years age? I'm not feeling too old here. And I definitely get a struggle of health around her that seemed to move very quick in the end. Do you see this?
Yes.
Okay. Would you also understand that she has really kind of funny personality when she was healthy, or really outgoing, very charming woman? Chatty?
I love
Yes,
her
okay.
personality.
Yeah, and I get the sense that she feels more like a sister than a sister-in-law.
That's what I just
Yes,
heard.
I was gonna say,
definitely.
I just heard sister from another mister. So did you guys ever say that, or?
Yeah, we were very close.
Yeah.
and so you oh, go ahead, Rebel.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Lauren.
It's like our last names are unique. Would you also understand with her a feeling of you being by her side, around her at the end of her time? I'm seeing you as a main support for me. Do you see that also?
I was her main support, but I wasn't with her when she passed. I hadn't talked to her in like a month.
And is there
okay? And the main support part, though, that feels important from her.
Yes.
Okay. And
yes.
Would there be a cancer connection? Is that correct? Like, or did she just makes me feel like there's an illness prior to the passing?
Yeah, she had some cancer.
Okay. Also, I'm curious, did she happen to smoke, Christy? Do you happen to remember if she was
No. She didn't smoke.
Do you happen to be a smoker?
No.
Oh, she gives me a sense of smoking. So I feel like she's talking about somebody smoking and kind of warning them to stop smoking. So do you know if there's someone around in the family that's a bit of a smoker that she would be
Her
chastising to say,
son,
okay,
probably her son.
okay, because she is wagging a finger, letting them know to stop smoking. Go ahead, Lauren.
No, I was just going to say, I'm wondering if you're touching on it. If I can ask you, Christy, I get the sense that there is a young gentleman in the spirit around you as well. And that was the first thing I got the minute I heard your voice. So would you understand around you or Pat, a younger adult male who's passed?
My son.
Okay, yeah. He was the very first thing that came in before I heard your voice. I know you were asking for your sister, but I actually wrote down the words young man with a sudden passing. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes.
And there's a feeling of these two knowing each other or having met through life or having very similar humorous personalities. Do you see that as well?
Yes.
Okay. And would you understand that when I see him come forward here, he seems like his passing was more tragic versus illness related. Would you see that? Would you be able to connect with that?
What was it, my son?
Yes, the young man.
Yes.
Okay.
Very sudden
I'm also
passing.
Very
yes, and
sudden
I'm also
passing.
getting okay, perfect. I'm also getting the impression here that he feels like he wants me to say that I love you, that I'm okay, and that I feel like I'm sorry here. A feeling of either a disconnect or a challenge before he passed, but he needs you to know that he's okay. Can you be with that?
Yes.
Okay. I'm also aware if I can take one more moment with this, because I know we have other callers here, but I feel like he came in right before you recognized Pat. Again, I want to acknowledge that perhaps they are together because there's a feeling that he was the very first one I heard with your voice.
Oh.
And so wanting to is getting close to you. Okay.
Yeah. And he's you know, I do know that he's a good son because he was very polite. Like he helped to greet her. So I do know that you raised him well. We raised him with manners. Because you know, it's like he knew she was important. So I do feel like he was there with her. Do you happen to know a Steve or a Scott, like an S name connected to someone as well, Christy, in the living or in spirit?
I know it's Scott.
Okay, you recognize the name Scott, and would your son have known Scott as well?
Yes.
Okay, because there's something where your son is mentioning this Scott, and there's also like a connection where I don't know if Scott was a bit of a father figure for him or a bit of a companion, but he kind of wants to recognize Scott. Okay, and
No, Scott wasn't good to him.
and he's also given me a feeling around where it's just that, you know, I know that you're going through a lot at the moment. So I do feel like, you know, he does definitely wants to let you know that he's around, just like Lauren was mentioning, and just to kind of offer that support for you. And it's also like a point too, Christy. I think that this is about them both wanting you to rally to kind of I don't want to say maybe work on picking the pieces back up because you're very you've got a lot of energy and you've got a lot of zest, and it almost feels like that candle has gone out a little bit, and I feel like your son is like, no ma, come on, you got to get back with it. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, sweetheart. And our heart goes out to you. You know, he loves you. He is with you. And Pat, you know, Pat makes a little bit of a wise crack, doesn't she? Did you hear the joke, Lauren? Like I feel like Lauren Pat is full of kind of these jokes. So I feel like Pat is just kind of giving you a joke just to let you know that she's okay. All right, sweetheart?
You know, Pat always loved that I made jokes with her. She loved that I made her laugh, so that's cool.
Yeah, so there you go. She still is from the other side, okay?
Beautiful.
All right, thank you so much, you guys.
You're welcome. Have a good night, sweetheart.
All right, thank you.
You know, that's so wonderful, Lauren. You know, it is great, you know, because she has the intention of talking to this sister-in-law, and it's wonderful that her son is like, I'm here too.
Yeah. First moment, I was like, oh, I know. I was actually surprised because I'm like, she wants to hear from a, and then I was like, okay, well,
Yes.
there, yeah.
Yes. So, all right, let us do another caller here. How about 270 270-903? Hey, 270.
Hi there.
Hi there. Who is this?
This is Jill.
Hey, Jill. This is Colby and Lauren. How are you tonight, sweetheart?
I'm doing fine. How are both of you?
I'm good. I'm good. What can we do for you tonight?
Well, I have a question. So I grew up working with horses and riding horses a lot of my younger life, and I've been out of that equine industry for the last couple years, and I would like to get back into working with the horses, but not quite sure how to go about that.
Oh, that's interesting. Lauren, I'm going to let you jump in, but the one thing I got is her working with like healing with horses or working with people and healing with horses. Did you get that, Lauren? You look like you got it.
I'm jotting things down, and I just kind of felt like there was this sense of creating an environment where people and horses come together. Like Colby's saying, like either in a form of healing or support. And I don't know why, but I either got retired horses or healing horses. I'm so not in the equestrian world, but like saving horses and bringing them into a place where they feel safe for this healing opportunity to work with others. So I don't know if it's a rescue horse league of sorts. I'm so bad if I'm getting that.
Jill, does that make sense? Are you very empathic, honey? Like, because you feel to be empathic to me, like you can pick up on people's emotions, or when someone's in pain. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Actually, I don't know if I would consider myself an empath, but yes, I have that intuition, empathic abilities, and I use them quite regularly. And I'm actually a certified therapeutic riding instructor, and I'm working on a second certification for equine specialists in mental health.
See,
so
there you go.
Because of all of the yes, so I've been out of teaching for the last couple years, and then been trying to finish out my certification, but with the environment going on, that has kind of stalled that out. So it's been a little difficult for me to get that second certification wrapped up.
Yeah, but you can. So here, look at it this way. Look at this kind of downtime as an opportunity to structure what would this career look like for you, like Lauren is saying. So, and I felt that retired horses as well, or definitely it's almost like you're helping the horses and you're helping people. And and
absolutely.
So look at this downtime, sit down and start researching where are places around you that you feel that you could be of value, where they could use you, and start reaching out to communicate with them. Start kind of laying that groundwork now and start visualizing. Like, I could totally see you holding a class, like outdoor at a ranch, bringing in the community to help them with the basic healing, or help them kind of feel the energy of a horse and just kind of tap into that. And Lauren, anything that you want to add to that for her?
You kind of really nailed the head. You nailed it right there. That's exactly what I was getting. I definitely got a sense too, and I think this is a universal message, Colby and Jill, for the downtime that we're in right now is a gift. It seems like a chaos for most of us, but this downtime is a major gift. And if there's one thing I'm learning for folks like yourself, Jill, I think Colby really did a great job of intuiting exactly what I was going to say as far as like working with the horses, people, healing, bringing together, therapy. I think it's more of that this is a universal downtime for everybody who's listening to get clear with yourself. We all have to. I know I'm doing it. I know Colby's doing it. I'm sure.
I'm doing it.
And how we want to go to that next level when we come out of this work. And the one thing I just want to add to that is I think you're going to find in about a year's time that this is going to be very needed.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's definitely this feeling that what you're going to offer is going to be very needed and very unique and new, and the world will be more ready for it.
There you go, Jill. I hope that helps, honey.
Yes, it does. Thank you so much. I appreciate it from both of you.
You're welcome. You have a great night. Yeah.
Good luck.
I've always loved horses, Lauren. I'm a little, like, it's kind of an odd thing because I'm a little afraid of them. And maybe it's just I'm afraid that they'll hurt me, so I just have to kind of relax around it. But I do. Don't you love the beauty of a horse and their
I do.
sensitive?
I have a bunch of friends here that have horses, and just to be near them and their majesty is lovely.
Yeah. So, all right, let us take another caller here. Let's see. How about eight? What's this look like? This is 814 here. Hey, 814, you are on the air with Lauren and Colby. Who is this?
Misty?
Hi, Misty. How are you, sweetheart?
Oh gosh, good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. And no profanity, just giving you a forewarning because I have a feeling about you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Wow,
Yeah.
already. Oh, yep.
Do you have a potty mouth, Misty? I'm just curious. Do you have a potty mouth?
Oh, yes. Yes, I can.
Oh, that's so funny. All right, what can we do for you tonight?
Oh. I was hoping to hear from my parents or anything about my future in general.
Okay, so we'll
Anything like
go with
that.
the parents. Yeah. So Lauren, it's connecting with
Yeah.
the mom and dad, and definitely. Lauren, do you want to start, honey?
Yeah, if you want, I can. Misty, right away, when I heard your voice, the first feeling I got was perhaps a father. So it sounds like your dad might be in the spirit when you said parents. Let me kind of describe this gentleman to you, so be open to everybody you know, but I was feeling a gentleman that came right close to you, like what feels like a father. I get the sense of perhaps still like younger, 60s, 70s age passing, or late 50s. I feel like this is a
Yeah.
gentleman who had a strong physique or a strong build and a really cheeky humor and mischievous personality. Would you understand that?
Yes, that's my stepdad, actually.
Okay.
He's my dad,
So,
but he was actually my stepdad.
I have a stepdad too who's been in my life since I was 2. So would you see this gentleman as a strong, positive father figure?
The best.
Yes, okay.
Aw.
Because he really steps in that regard. Would you understand having heart disease or heart valve, heart disconnect toward the end of his life?
He's a heart disconnect.
Something's going on in the heart space. I know that word disconnect sounded weird. Even when I said, I was like, what did I just say?
Well,
I feel like either, go ahead.
When him and my mom got married, I was 13 years old, and he asked me if it was okay, and when he did, he bought me this nice diamond heart necklace with my birthstone blue
See?
and diamond blue earrings.
Oh,
So
look at
that
that.
could be as far as a heart with him.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Let's see.
I have to say this, it is great that you got through, only because if you look at the necklace I'm wearing tonight,
Yes,
it's a blue heart crystal. So definitely, it's your stepdad was definitely meant to get through tonight.
Thank goodness.
Just a necklace.
Would one of the things I see with a man, so I don't know if it's your natural father or the stepfather, would you know of a gentleman that did something for the community or had a badge in any sort of way, either a volunteer firefighter or anything like that? Would that make a connection at all?
My brother, but
Oh,
he's not passed away.
that's okay. He's in the living then, but he's a volunteer firefighter or something.
He was.
Okay, got it. Okay.
He
So,
was, yeah.
all right. And so he also is obviously connected to this stepdad as well. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Because I feel like, he wants to acknowledge him as well. And there's just a sense. Now, I'm kind of curious with your mom. Would it be right that your mom is straight to the point kind of a lady? Like there's no fluff with her. Like I feel like she's so direct. Does that make sense?
Yes.
We love her. She's not exactly the most polished person.
No. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I know what you mean. Yes.
But
Absolutely.
you gotta love her honesty because I think that she's an honest person and I think that she valued that a lot.
I miss that in her. I miss that. I need someone like that again in my life. That she's so honest, but in such a loving way. You know, she loves you and she doesn't. But yes.
did you happen to give your
Oh,
mom
sorry.
a Mother's Day, like what's that called, a mother's ring, Lauren, when it's got the mixed stones in it? Does she have a mother's
Oh,
ring or something like this?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay,
There's,
because
yes, yes, she does. She
okay,
did.
'cause it makes me feel
Yeah.
like that's very special to her. That it was quite special. I'm kind of curious though. Is there a third sibling? So there's you, your brother. Is there one other sibling?
Two others, my
Okay.
2 younger sisters and my older brother.
2 sisters. Okay, so there's 3 sisters, because I got the 3, but it's 3 sisters, then
Yeah.
1 brother. Okay, Lauren, what do you want to add
Yep.
in here?
Misty, coming back to, I think your mom or the stepfather, I'm definitely getting a sense of a serious stomach illness, or surgery or cancer that came into the mid belly to stomach area. Do you connect with that?
My mom, she had a hernia in her stomach
Oh.
before.
Oh.
Okay.
She had passed. I mean, that wasn't the
And there
cause of it, but she did have a surgery in her stomach area. Yes.
okay, I'm seeing like
Oh,
a surgery
Bob.
in my
Oh,
stomach. What did I miss, Misty?
sorry. I'm sorry. What?
No, I was just saying I saw the surgery in her stomach. So it sounds like you're validating that. That feels like your mom is here. And I see that these two, mom, they feel like as a couple, they were very close and that they themselves had a teasing banter between each other. I feel like there would be some funny nicknames or some off-color moment. Like they're really 2 peas in a pod in their humor. Do you understand that?
Yes.
It's like, yes, okay. It's almost like I say Bonnie and Clyde-ish, Like they have
Well, that's the weird thing I was getting real quick too, and then we gotta let you go, Misty. But does somebody happen to have a shotgun or a rifle? I know that sounds a little crazy, but
I'm not sure if anybody did it. My brother probably would for hunting.
okay.
Personally, we do. I mean, not other than a shotgun or a rifle like that. But my stepdad, he always did because he always hunted and everything.
Yeah, he's got a shotgun. Okay, now that's what I was getting, because he made me feel like his shotgun was his pride and joy.
Okay. Yeah.
Does your brother happen to have that shotgun, or does somebody in the family have that specific shotgun?
I'm not sure actually.
Okay.
He might. There's a possibility that he might.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe ask him. Lauren, anything final that you want to add, and we'll take one more caller.
Yeah, I just feel like one last piece here. Do you understand like a Robert, Bob, Bill, Bob?
Robert is my stepdad's name. His name, we called him Bob.
Okay, great.
But
So
Robert
just
was
it was
his actual name.
that was kind of like on the top of my head. I'm like, So he's obviously there for you, my love, with your mom, and I just love their personalities together. I think they're just a hoot.
Yeah. So just, it's like, it's almost, pick up your britches. I don't know. That's really actually from your mom, but pull up your britches and.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, you get it. And just kind of keep holding your head up high, sweetheart, and know that they're all around you, okay?
Yep. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Lots of love to you. Oh.
Thank you.
All right, we will go for one more, Lauren. Sound good to you? All right,
Yes.
here we go. This is 661. Let's see, 661. Hey, 661, you are on the air with Lauren and Colby. Who is this?
Hi, this is Jackie.
Hey, Jackie. How are you, honey?
I'm good. How are you? I can't believe I'm on the air. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Good. Well, what can we do for you tonight?
I was hoping that my father would come through.
Okay, great. All right. And so we have a few minutes here, Lauren. Do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
I can jump in if you want. I've got a little something. Let's see if this connects for you, Jackie. And then
there we go.
So right away, I've got a gentleman who's coming forward, and I'm almost feeling like I have 2, so I'm going to try to sort them through. One of them feels like a rather studious, somebody who might be rather studious, Jackie, kind of a business professional, I believe, or business leader, business owner. I kind of feel like I'm an older man of passing, 70s, 80s age passing. And I feel like he was kind of rather successful or well associated for his area, like somehow known, locally recognized, either community oriented. Do you understand us around father or somebody connected to dad in spirit?
Not sure.
Okay, so the other piece I'll put in there, because oh, go ahead, honey.
Hello?
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay. No,
I'm trying to figure out who that could be.
Okay, so the other gentleman that came with him was a little bit younger, 60s, 70s age passing, but heading up into his elderly a little bit. So I think they're somehow connected with each other. This other gentleman I feel like unfortunately was quite unwell before he passed. So there feels like a year or more where there was some struggles of health, either cancer or other degenerative illnesses. But I sense that family was around him before he left for this world. I'm getting more of a working man, or somebody who had worked really hard in life, perhaps on the labor side. Would you understand that?
My gosh, it could be a brother-in-law.
Okay.
My dad.
I'm sorry, what?
But my dad wasn't sick. My dad wasn't sick before he passed away.
Yeah. Do you, real quick though, would your dad have worked with his hands? Would your dad have, because I see a man who's got like thick hands or kind of rough hands, because I feel like he worked with his hands a lot. Does that resonate around your dad?
Yeah, that was my daddy. He was he owned his own wrecking yard.
Oh, you know what I kept seeing? I kept seeing rope. You know, so I wonder if they had rope at the wrecking yard or things that he'd have to pull a lot. Do you know what I mean? Because I felt like he was pulling, but I bet you he was with machinery and things like that. Yeah.
Probably.
And he gives me a feeling around him of, I believe that people really liked him. Like, I feel like he could be a little, maybe not rough around the edges, but just kind of real down to earth. But I think people really cared about him. Does that make sense around his personality?
Yeah, he was awesome. He was amazing. Had the best personality and a great presence when he entered a room.
And I think even a thing with music with him, like I feel like he wouldn't be afraid to kind of make fun of himself or to kind of have a little fun with people. Does that make sense? Did he ever do an Elvis impersonation by chance, or did he impersonate people by chance?
No. No, not my dad.
He makes me feel like he's got a laugh that kind of reminds me of Elvis. So I don't know if maybe the side of his mouth would lift up, but there's a big old laugh with it. Do you understand that?
Oh, that's funny.
Okay. All right. Lauren, do you want to add anything else here with this?
Really quickly, and I think we're kind of in a similar vein, Jackie. I think because I had said a working man, and as Colby validated, he worked with his hands.
Yeah.
It sounds like your dad was a fast, unexpected passing from what you know.
Yes,
right?
It was very quick.
Okay, and I don't want to argue
unexpected.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't want to argue that. I just want to validate or just put it out there that I get the sense of either having some physical issues or struggles before he left. So while I think there's a fast passing, I just feel like he's kind of feeling sluggish or a little tired before he left. So I don't know if you can look back to see anything in there that you must acknowledge.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. And
I hope he's not disappointed in me for what's going on in the family now.
No, but it is about letting go of family drama. So I don't know if there's family drama at the moment, but I do feel like it's, try not to hold grudges, Jackie. So it's almost like I know you're trying to do the right thing, but it's to the point where I feel like for him, it's not about holding on to grudges and just to kind of living your truth, because that's what would make him the most proud.
All right, good. I'm trying to do that.
You can do it. All right, sweetheart. Well, you have a good night and lots of love to you, okay?
Thank you
so much.
Yeah, baby doll. You have a good night. Lots of love. You keep doing the right thing and just trust that he's going to be proud, okay?
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Have a good night. Oh my gosh. Can you believe that is the end of the show?
They always go by so fast.
It is. This show goes by so quickly. It's the fastest 50 minutes, isn't it?
Absolutely. Anytime you show, it just goes You're like, what happened?
It is like, I know, but it has been so great to have you. I know you're busy, and you said you're working on your house. And so I just really appreciate you taking the time, and, just to come on and to share your beautiful gift with everyone. And it really just, if any time we could use a lifting of vibration, it's now. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate to connect to all the people who tuned in. Just be safe, be well, and lots of love.
Yeah, and just, I know it's laurenrainbow.com, but you're on Instagram and Facebook. So where can they find you there?
For both places, it's Lauren Rainbow Medium. And so you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and yeah. I'll probably be the only Lauren Rainbow Medium that'll pop up.
It's perfect. There you go. Well, you can't beat it. And congratulations on the card deck. It's amazing. And not only should you be proud of you, I know Spirit's proud of you, and what an honor. And you keep people inspired. Keep doing you. And anybody out there, go ahead and follow her, hit that website, go like those pages. And Lauren, I'll have to have you back. I can't wait. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Colby. Thank you.
All right. Have a good night. And thank you, everybody, for watching, for tuning in. Feel free to share. Lots of love. And I'll see you next week, everyone.
Thank you for listening to the Colby Rebel Show. Be sure to follow Colby on social media at Psychic Rebel. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, please head on over to iTunes to leave a review to help Colby grow the tribe. Colby is an international psychic medium, teacher, best-selling author, and speaker. She is a master teacher of the Lisa Williams International School of Spiritual Development and is the owner of the Colby Rebel Spirit Center in Los Angeles. Visit colbyrebel.com.